Cool. Thank you for being so patient. There was a lot of stuff that I had to take care of off screen before hitting the launch button. So it's all settled. Hello, I'm Kelsey D. I make comics. Today, I'm working on a back cover for my upcoming book, The Legend of Jamie Roberts, Volume 3. Front cover's already done. The majority of the book is already done. I just got to do the back cover and then a final read through to make sure that I catch any like stray errors. And then it's ready for the printer. The new book launches on Kickstarter tomorrow at tinyurl.com/TLOJRVOL3. Link is on the screen as well as in the doobly-doo. Be sure to head there, sign up for notifications. We will be live October 14th at noon. Let's keep an eye out for that. I'm also going to see about doing a live stream tomorrow at noon to help hype up the Kickstarter launch. For now, I'm going to turn on some music and I'm going to start working on this cover art here. I do want to post a little heads up to some Discord servers, though, that I'm like, hey, I'm finally on. Starting with my fantasy-filled Discord server. The Fantasyville server is a Discord server that I run for folks who are on my email newsletter. To sign up for the email newsletter, go down to the description. There we go. Posted on the Fantasyville server. And, oh, wait, I was going to play music. Let's get some music going. I don't think I have this one particular track. Yeah, it doesn't look like I have this particular track because I have something that's on loop in my head. And I'm like, ah, God, dang it. I want it out. So let's do something different. Let's do this one. Okay. Oh, hold on a second. This is, I feel like a different layout than the one I wanted before. Because I had some concepts sketched up. Oh no, this is the one that I wanted. Okay. So here's how we're going to do this. Well, first, we're going to crop to this. This is just the thumbnail version of the cover. This is to give you an idea of how I want the layout to look. Okay, now for this part, because of the way that I do covers here, I actually need to bring up the front cover. So let me get that one real quick. Okay. And the reason I'm doing that is because the front and back covers here are going to be kind of connecting with each other. I'm keeping in mind the spine, because the spine will affect some things. So, okay. Just zoom out here. Corner marks. Cool. I'm gonna zoom this out. Cool. Now they're about roughly the same. So this will give me an idea of where some lines can continue and others can stop. Okay. We're going to reduce the opacity on this to 25% and move this over. Move this over. Now the spine's not going to be as thick as these like rulers and slideys that are in the middle here, but this is giving me a good idea of like how to space things out. Okay. Okay, cliff's up here, so we'll put the cliff up here. Nope, don't like that tangent. Hold on. Boom. Just gonna roughly lay out some trees here. So this is based off of a panel in the comic proper. So I'm going to bring up that panel super quick. It's a point of reference. It's chapter 10, I believe. Here we are. Okay. I believe in you. You got this. Okay, there we go. Based off of that top panel here. Okay. No pine tree here, so we'll erase that. Turn the thumbnail layer off for a second. Mountains up here. Yeah. Looking. It's getting there. We're not there yet, but we're getting there. Okay. Maybe we'll leave that line there for now. I might erase it. We'll see. See, this is a good chunk of why Akira Toriyama draws desert scenes, because you could just lay a line down wherever and it works. For anybody who plays live stream bingo with me, you can check off the Dragon Ball Z reference. There really should be a square, though, for just, like, mention of Akira Toriyama. May he rest in peace. Though, okay. So I'm on a newsletter. I receive a newsletter once a month from the... I want to say Animation Fanatic, but that doesn't seem right. But it's an animation-related newsletter, and the installment that I got today was about Patlabor 2, which is directed by Mamoru Oshii, the guy who did Ghost in the Shell, as well as Angel's Egg, which, so excited Angel's Egg is finally getting a US release. It is way overdue. But I saw a sequence from Patlabor 2, and I was like, oh, dang. And a lot of the character designs, I was like, I've seen this style before. It's early Satoshi Kon. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I did not know that Satoshi Kon worked on this film, but it makes sense. So that was me with my anime fan hat for a minute. Oh, today's drink of choice is just regular old sweet tea. Nothing fancy. I might actually see about doing a sweet tea that has like chunks of apple soaked in it. I have so many apples. I don't know what I will do with all of the apples that I have. I am overwhelmed with apples. Well, there's a tree that is real close to my apartment that is full fruit right now. And I'm just like, what am I going to do with all this fruit? I even took some to church the other day, and I was like, please take so many. And I gave some to the food pantry that we help serve, and I still have so many apples. I gave them a whole ass tote bag, and I still have so many apples, and I'm like, what do? I'm gonna have to reach out to my friend Alex and see about getting a apple pie recipe, because her dad has an apple pie recipe. Okay, I'm not getting. Hold on. Nope. I did not want to zoom in that much. Hold on. I just wanted to try to type in a number. Nope. That's not. Nope. I just want to get to like 14.8, which is about. I'm trying to make the percent zoom out on the bottom of the screen match, and it's just not getting there. So peeved. Okay, there we go. Now they match. Good. Because I need that. Because, hello, Los. Good to see you hanging out in the chat. I'm trying to get the lines to kind of line up as best as I can so that I can get the heights relatively figured out. The reason I do that is because there's this very specific scale metric that I have. It's specific and yet loosey-goosey. Because Basho is a head taller than Daniel. Daniel is like an inch or two taller than Thomas, and Jamie comes up to Thomas's eye height. So, specific scalings here. But, okay. So, knowing how tall Basho is, we're going to, well, first I gotta get the Jamie Roberts color set up, and then, boom, okay. Actually, but we're gonna drop Basho in purple. Yeah, Basho's purple. Okay. About here-ish. It's gonna be Basho here. Alright, I need to zoom in so that I can actually draw this guy. Fluctuating power scaling. Yes. Well, you missed my obligatory Akira Toriyama mention, so. But yes, fluctuating power scaling. I am looking forward to Richmond Indie Comic Expo in a few weeks. About a month, I think. Less than a month. Still. Got the train tickets all figured out. I have where I'm staying mostly figured out. So, you know, looking forward to the weekend trip. I need to zoom in a little bit more. That's a bit better. Okay. It'll be fun. Yes. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I make it into DC Zine Fest, which is happening the day before. But even if I don't make it in, I still want to try to go and trade some zines. Because I'm going to be in the area anyway. Just because of how the getting the train fare came out. It's like, well, I'm going to be in the DC area for at least a few extra days. The nice thing is, it times out well so that I finish up the last of one of my classes before taking the train, and then when I get back home, I don't have to go to classes, which is nice. Because right now I'm actually taking classes to become a tax preparer, so I'm learning all kinds of things about tax law, which I'm not going to get into that right now. I'm 30% recovered from New York Comic Con and Richmond Zine Fest. How did RZF go, by the way? Because I wasn't able to make it this year. I mean, I got waitlisted, so there was no guarantee I was going to make it in anyway. But, you know, I would love to hear about how that went. Wait. I am. Honestly, I think this will help me determine if I have head kind of prescale or not. Just eyeballing it, I had a pretty decent gander. Nice. I was definitely weirded out though, because I was like, I feel like the proportions on this are a little off. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Los says, RZF was good. Solid venue and great crew of people tabling. Half of my friends. Fair. Glad to hear that you had a good time, though. That's great. Jeremy's not part of the chat yet, but Jeremy is currently in talks with somebody that I know from the Cartoonist Co-op about splitting a table at an upcoming event. And he's like, am I doing this right? And I'm like, you're going to have to talk to your table buddy, man. Like, you can only consult strangers so much before you have to talk to the person you're sharing an actual table with. I also have a bacon grease chocolate chip cookie on standby. This is my treat for today because I got a surprising amount done. Should be a little longer. That's the technical name for the kilts in this universe, is that they are called calves. K-A-F. Calf. Okay. Placement of the shoes, which his sandals didn't really change in design all that much. The calf did, but happy Kickstarter Eve. Yes! Today is the day before the Kickstarter launch. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you must have missed the first few minutes of the stream. I'm talking about The Legend of Jamie Roberts Volume 3. Head over to tinyurl.com/TLOJRVOL3. Link is also in the description. Bacon grease cookie. I'm listening. Okay, so if you are not vegan and not vegetarian and you do not mind bacon grease in your cookies, you can use bacon grease to bake chocolate chip cookies. Bacon grease is a substitute for butter in the recipe. So the recipe that I use uses 1 stick of butter and the equivalent of bacon grease. Now, because bacon grease is kind of a liquid, you have to use like the liquid measure, but it's a 1-for-1 equivalent. But you can use bacon grease as a substitute for butter. It's a thing that they used to do a lot during World War II because of the butter rationing. Personally, I use it a lot because sometimes, especially on weeks like this where it's like, oh, things are a little bit tight, I at least have a lot of bacon grease in the freezer. So it helps. I actually found a recipe recently of how to make acorn flour. It looks like a process, so it's not going to be fast. Asha needs to move forward a little bit. He's a little... Does he need to move forward? Yes, he needs to move forward. Hold on. I really should have drawn it on a separate layer. What am I doing? Okay. Oh, for folks who are on my email newsletter, sorry, I just saw the comments. It's like an anti-healthy cookie, like the ones that use applesauce or yogurt. It very much is. I actually have a peanut butter bread recipe that uses applesauce. You can use yogurt instead of applesauce when making the peanut butter bread. I found this out because there was one time that I was baking peanut butter bread and then I was like, oh no, the applesauce went bad. What do I use as a substitute? You can use yogurt. Greek yogurt also works. Found that out. Still comes out creamy. That's the important thing. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I was cutting this into its own layer paste. Today was the first email that I sent out using a new email client on my newsletter. There's a dedicated segment of my newsletter that's dedicated to members on Ko-fi. So I sent the letter out to them, and it looks like it worked because I got some response emails back. So yay, thank you. I'm glad that things are working. I wanted to make sure that things worked as intended before doing any major switches. Okay, so Basho's on his own layer. Good. I'm going to reduce the opacity of the base pencil layer so that I know which one I'm working on. Because otherwise it will be nasty. Saphronia says, I read a book series set in pre-medieval times and how the characters commented on how labor-intensive making acorn flour is. It's a lot of work. at like the front end and the back end, but the stuff in between is like, let's sit in jar, soak for 12 hours, change out water, let's soak for 12 hours again. And then you just repeat that for like 2 weeks. I first found out about, well, I don't want to say first found out, but I remember rumblings of mentions of acorn flour from Parable of the Sower by Olivia Butler. Because it got mentioned in passing in that book, but it was never elaborated on how it was made. And I was like, how would you make it? And knowing that there's like so much water involved in it makes me go, okay, hold on a second. There must have been an alternative way to make acorn flour in Parable of the Sower, because in that book, water is at a premium. Because it's Southern California, and in the book it's like it hasn't rained in 6 years, and it's like, so if water is at such a premium, how are people making acorn flour just casually? Because it uses a lot of water. So I'll be honest, I'm wondering if there's other processes that are not as water intensive, or what's going on there. I have questions. Unfortunately, I cannot ask them of Octavia Butler because she passed away a while back. So I cannot ask her directly. But if there's other ways of making acorn flour, I am so curious. A wizard did it. It might as well have been. Okay, anyway, enough yapping. I need to draw this. Okay, so he needs to move forward because Norsa will be beside him. I'll need a scale reference for that, but one step at a time. Why is there this little dot on that? There we go. There's a dot on my tablet screen. Okay. His wrist is going to go here. Well, about here. Hand is a little big. There. Lasso. It. Okay. So if we draw a line and then perpendicular about here-ish, that's where his elbow should be. I can't remember where I came across that tip, but this tip has saved my life countless times. Okay. I'm not going to draw the other arm yet. I'm going to draw Norsa first. Need a scale ref for her, though. Okay. It's getting a little dark in this room. Norsa is epitome of tiny queen. Tiny feral queen. I love her so much. Okay. So she comes up to his collarbone. Round about there. Oh, you know what? We've had this song on loop long enough. We're going to change it. Okay, let's change it to... What do I want to have playing in the background? I don't know this one. Okay. Sure. Well, now I'm second guessing this decision because it's like, so here's my concern. On the one hand, the way I'm picturing it, the back cover is going to have Basho, Norsa, and Odenon because they're a family. However, I really like the reveal of in chapter 11 that we like up to chapter 11, all that the main characters know about Norsa is that she is the one who did the final blow to end Ranky. And so there's this kind of idea of like, oh, she's a larger than life person. She's, you know, she's the queen, all of these things. And it's revealed in chapter 11 that she is a short queen. And my conundrum is I would love to draw Norsa on the back cover here. On the other hand, you know what? I figured out the workaround. She's not going to stand next to Basho. Odenon will stand next to Basho. But Norsa, I think, is going to sit on the ledge. That's going to be my workaround. Okay, we got it. Because I don't want her height to be a spoiler. Actually, we're going to cut, paste, put her on her own layer. Here we go. I just gotta figure out her foot placement. Before I do that though, I've been drawing for like 34 minutes. I'm gonna get up and turn the light on. 1 second. Oh! Such a stark difference. Okay. You know, I do enough like recipe zines. I might just go put the bacon grease chocolate chip cookies into a recipe zine at some point. That might go in the quarterly zine that goes out to Ko-fi members later this year. Or at least be an addition on the zine. I have some ideas for the zine proper. of where to put this leg. Yeah. There's a part of me that wants her to like lounge back, and another part of me that's like, nah, she would probably sit up right here. Yeah, she's gonna sit upright. Yeah, just thinking about her general demeanor, she would be sitting upright. Draw the foot a little bit better. Shaboom. Okay. Okay, next to Basho, I'm going to have Odenon standing there. And Odenon's going to be drawn in this color. Which they are close in height, but they're not the same height. Un momento. Aw, thank you, Mel. I saw your comment just now. That's delightful. You keep being awesome. I know I end my newsletters and stuff and my live streams with "you are awesome," but it's true. Ah, here we go. Okay. Now I have a pretty good idea. Okay, got it. So a little bit past his nose. So about here. That's a little small. Yeah. Better. About here-ish. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to change up the song because I can only listen to this on loop so many times before I'm like, okay. All right, we're going to end that track there. I need something a little bit more chill. Let's do, that's a good chill song. Oh, Paradise Found is not exactly chill. That's the marimbas. So let's do Too Chill. That's what I wanted. Okay. Well, the other one wasn't too chill. It was a little too peppy. Okay. Kneecaps. Kneecaps are so strange. Okay. We have a sip of tea. You know, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, I think the next batch of sweet tea, I'm going to just add some apple slices in there and see how that affects the flavor. Makes like a appley dark sweet tea. I actually kind of like the pose that is coming out for Odenon because it's almost like a mirror of Daniel here. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but... hold on a second. It's been a while since I had one of these. There we go. So if he wants to, if this dude wants to talk his American flag bullshit, he could do that on another channel. Go shit on somebody else's virtual couch, man. We're listening to like chill Louis on cat vibes while I'm drawing comics, man. Go bother somebody else. Yeah, I'm over here trying to talk about how there's like parallels going on between Odenon and Daniel. With them kind of mirroring each other's poses. At least that's how it's kind of slowly turning into, and I'm like, oh hell yeah. I care more about that, so. Alrighty. Okay. Maybe I might change the angle of the leg here. Now he's got a staff. Did I pull up that staff reference? I did not. Okay. Let me see if I can pull that up real fast. Yay. Okay, there's two different references that I could use for Odinon's staff here. Do I want to draw him with the staff, though? Oh, I have an idea. Okay. Maybe. No, just looking at where the head of the staff sits in relation to Odinon's head, I'm like, well, maybe that idea won't work. But maybe it could. Let me zoom out for a second, see how it looks so far. Odinon can move forward a little bit. Okay. One second. Okay. Well, let's see how this looks first. Oh, hold on. Odnon was drawn on the Norsa layer, and I'm like, he should be a layer down. Okay. Realized I was drawing on the wrong layer there. The perennial issue of being a digital artist. Just being like, oops, wrong layer. This is just a rough head placement of the staff. It's not going to be the final placement here. Well, if that's going to be the case, then he needs to move back. Okay. Figuring this out live, man. All right. Let's see. I'm a little surprised. It's been a minute since comments like that showed up. Something must be slipping on the algorithm side of things. It needs to sit a little lower there. But then that tangents with the, you know what? I might just have to leave the friggin' staff out of Odinon's arrangement because I'm not figuring out a good way to make it work. Okay. I wonder. Oop. Okay. Now I'm getting it to work. This arm is going to be about there-ish. Okay. Placement of the hands. About there-ish. And still a little too big. There. That works. Okay. Okay, yeah, that works, scaling-wise. I was like, I just want to make sure that I put the elbow on the right spot. I did. We're good. Actually, just thinking about preparing for Richmond Indie Comic Expo, because that falls on a general election weekend, because the Tuesday immediately afterwards is the general election vote. So already took care of my absentee ballot, so that part's done. Which, yay, because there's a number of city council members who are up for election up in my area. So, this is your reminder that if you haven't done so, you should, especially if you've got something happening that weekend, get your absentee ballots in, man. Vote, yes. Absolutely vote. Votes matter a whole lot more in the off season, I'll tell you what. Like, there are so many people who will bitch about, no, my vote doesn't matter. It matters in any year other than the presidential one. You have to vote every year for your vote to count, man. That's how it works. I was very surprised that there was actually somebody at church who, speaking of like being very outspoken and all of that, I had made an appearance on my local news, not for any kind of like nasty thing going on, but because I had gone to a city council meeting and I had spoken up about an issue that I cared about, and there were like 2 or 3 different TV stations that were local who wanted to interview me about the issue, and I was like, yeah, I'll talk about it. The issue in particular being that there's a proposal for a development up in my area, and I wanted to go as somebody who does not drive to see what the development might look like. And I very simply asked the developer, where are the sidewalks and where are the bike racks? I was not expecting so many people to clap when I asked those questions. I guess just me asking those questions was enough to make the local news be like, hey, we need to talk to this person. But those are valid questions because I don't drive. I can drive. I can't afford a car. So I bike and I bus everywhere. For the most part, not that big of a problem, to be honest. I can still get around pretty fine. It just really annoys me when there's like out-of-town developers who will come in and be like, we want to put in this kind of a store. And I'm like, where are your sidewalks? Like, yeah, it's great that you want to like put in all of these new shopping developments, but like, where's the housing? Where are the apartments? I would love to see an apartment complex around here newer than like 1973. You know what I mean? Or if you're going to be, or if at all possible, rehab some of the older buildings. Rehab some older buildings and convert them into housing. Like, more of that. We need more housing around here. I mean, we need more housing everywhere. But yeah, I had gone to a city council meeting about and spoke up about those issues, and I apparently made it onto the local news, so yay? Question mark? I have not seen how those interviews came out, so I'm hoping that they, came out okay. Hard to tell. Because sometimes it's hard to tell whenever you're dealing with, like, edited interviews. That's why if I ever do edited interviews, it's just going to be for, like, local stations. I don't want to ever do, like, interviews on, like, on some kind of stupid political podcast or something. Like, no. It'll be really easy for the editors to splice me into saying something that I don't actually agree with, That arm is too stiff. Hold on. Alright, gotta kill the darling, because I am really pleased with how that hand came out, but this arm is too stiff. I need to redraw it. Okay. That's better. That's way better. That's way, way better. I feel like that's like a night and day difference right there. Okay. Now Odenon also wearing a cuff. He's got fur-lined boots for reasons. Okay. Oh, you know what? This will make it easier. Flip. Boom. Okay. We're getting there, folks. Took frickin' long enough. Oh, I could fix that collar, though. Okay, Ognon's pretty much done. Now I'm gonna finish up Basho over here. I'm gonna change this tunes. We've had that on loop for long enough. Actually, it's been about an hour. I'm gonna take a minute to get up, stretch, and do all of that. Let's go with... There. That's good hold music while I take a stretch break. Y'all should take a stretch break too. Alrighty. Oh. I've been doing a lot of stuff in front of the computer today. Oh, man. Also, I have to shout out, I want to say it's Hirohiko Haraki. The artist of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure also has a spin-off manga called Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe, which Rohan Kishibe is one of the most dramatic boys ever put to paper, and I love him for that. I was not expecting in Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe that Rohan would do different like stretches, being like, this is how a manga artist stretch. And I'm like, these are actually kind of useful. Like there's one that's like, put your hands out like this. And then one finger at a time, alternating hands. Bend, 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 bend. And then reverse it. It made me realize how badly my finger joints need to stretch. It's like, ow! Like you do that exercise and you're like, I have tendons in my palms and they hurt. Stretch out my arms. Oh, man. Okay. Whew. Ah, hooby dooby dooby doo boo. Yes, I'm gonna stretch a little bit more. Oh no. There are muscles in my thighs and they are angry at me. Okay. Okay. All right, back at it. Y'all feel free to take your time, get in your drinks, get your stretches, and all of that. Ooh. Do I want to close out the canvas or no? Oh, I don't want to close it out yet. I got to adjust this. Hold on. Okay, there is a set of lines that I gotta fix. I gotta go into this layer to fix them. It's a bit better. We'll come back to that later, I guess, but Yeah. Because I wanted there to be a little bit of room between Odenon and the cutoff point. That's what these lines are like, these are the cutoff points for bleed, etc., etc. Oh, Odenon's not done yet. I gotta draw the head on the top of his staff. There's an alternate angle for this. Okay. Okay, there we go. I was waiting for it to load. Thank goodness for the mirror tool. It makes my life so much easier to handle when I gotta draw the heads. There we go. Okay, for the folks who like a peek behind the scenes. So, interesting thing about the top of Odenon's staff here. The artistic point of inspiration for this is the Asante people have staffs, and they have exchangeable heads on those staffs, and those are usually carried around by members of the King's Council, and each staff head means different things. In The Legend of Jamie Roberts, the staff heads reference the dragon forms that some of these people can take. The thing about Odenon, though, is that he has not gone through the rite of passage breaking into his dragon form yet. So the head on the top of his staff references his grandfather. It's not Odenon's dragon form. It's his grandfather's dragon form. And that's like a placeholder until he goes through the ceremony, where he takes his form for the first time, and we get to actually see what his dragon form would look like. He hasn't gone through it yet. For dragons, it's kind of a coming of age ritual to go through that. Because one of the points about, being a good dragon is being able to take those shapes at will. But he hasn't gotten to that point yet. I might just have to copy paste and mirror flip this head. That might be easier. Pencils, staff head. Copy. I'm going to zoom out for a minute so that I know where the heck it's going to appear. Okay. Okay, flipped it. Scale it. Boom. It's like, why reinvent the wheel when the wheel is right here? Sometimes I gotta remember to, like, work smarter. Okay. Hold on. What just moved? Something just moved. Okay. Not the thing I needed to move, but there we go. Okay. Oh, it's been a minute since I drew Basho's staff, actually. I need to bring that reference up. Assuming it's not here. It's not here. Okay. I should not have deleted that. Or at least I shouldn't have removed it from the upper corner. Oops. And I shouldn't have removed that either. Oops. Let me get those back up. I'm going to get at least one of them back up. Because I need a reference of Norsa's fit. But I also need to bring up a reference of the top of Basho's staff here. So let me get that real quick. I know exactly where to look for that. Boom. Okay. For all of my African art history nerds out there, the top of Basho's staff, it is based on his dragon form, but it is also loosely based off of like a hybrid of the Chiwara and the Warakun masks. They're both from two different societies, and they both mean very different things. But aesthetically, I was borrowing from both of those when coming up with the design of this. Okay. I actually am looking to apply for. There's a new mini grant available to make a mini comic pertaining to medieval culture. And the guidelines for it did mention that if applicants wanted to expand outside of Europe, that they could. And I sent an email to the program organizers being like, I want to pitch something pertaining to African art history. Will you let me do it? We'll see what they say. Because that was my, I don't want to say area of expertise, but that was my area of hyper-focus for like a year when I was in college. And I still know entirely too much about it. And I would love to explore it more. It's also something that is like sorely underrepresented as far as medieval studies go. But we'll see what they say. Nice strong jaw here. Because we are talking about Basho here. Still thinking about the exchange that I had in chapter 12. I like that proposed alternative name. Instead of like area of expertise or area of hyperfixation, area of education. I like that a lot. Because it's accurate. I am not an expert by any means, but, you know, compared to the average Joe, I know more than most. Okay. Yeah, Basho had a bit of a costume change in Volume 3. An AoE, if you will. Yeah! Yeah, area of education becomes AoE. Because as we all know, education is a fighting game. Cape goes down to... Oh, okay. Okay, now I gotta draw Norsa. Norsa's on her own layer, so she's gonna get drawn in... might as well use the same color as Odin on here. Now she does have paint on her face. The patterns on Norsa's face indicates that she is a married woman from the Nafrit. That's why she has the face markings. And why the face markings are the particular pattern that she has. So if you see a woman later on in the comic, because there will be more Nafrit people who will be making an appearance in, I want to say like chapters 17 and 18. It's going to be a while before we get there, but different face paint patterns will mean different things. As I said, the pattern on Norsa's face here indicates that she is a married woman. I might change the track because we've had this on loop for a little while. So far, so good. That's a little too big for... Yeah, here we go. All right, time to change the tune because we've had that on loop for long enough. There we go. Alrighty. Oh, it's been nearly an hour and a half, y'all. Honestly, of the tracks that I have uploaded on here, this reads to me as the most Spyro coded. I mean that in the best way. I love Spyro. I grew up with that game. Specifically the original trilogy. I never played Enter the Dragonfly, and from what I can tell, kind of a blessing that I didn't play that. Because that's one of the best ways that I know to. I know what angles are best for me to draw feet. Okay. Those are not the right toes. Glad I caught that before going any further. I remember drawing that, and then I went, hold on, something doesn't seem right. And I was right. Feet! I know! I'm setting off Los's alarm. Oh, you were... Yeah, Los was there for Godzilla and the toe, and just Godzilla and booty shorts, and the booty shorts just say feet across the cheeks. You were there for that. I'm gonna try to make sure I got extra Godzilla stickers in time for... in time for Rice. The first weekend of November. I'm gonna try to make sure I got enough stickers for that. I'm trying to be mindful of that though, because the Godzilla and booty short stickers have been really taking off at Handmade Toledo. So you know, he was there. The love, I was there at the beginning. You were there when the magic was writ. Yes. Okay. Okay. So bring some for DC Zine Fest. I gotta, man. I gotta. I still have extra, so, but I am gonna try to be mindful of, like, because they are taking off a Handmade Toledo, so I gotta be careful about that. Change the placement of her hand here. Yeah. I think we're just about done with the pencils, man. It only looks off to me because Jamie's hair is so big. That's the only reason my brain is kind of thrown off here. Because I'm like, is that the right scaling for Norsa's head? And I'm like, yeah, I think so. It's just that Jamie's hair is big. I will adjust this though, just to be on the safe side here. That's better. Cool. All right. Pencils are pretty much done. All I gotta do is all the rest of it. So yay. It's progress. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and close out the front cover that I was using for point of reference. Is it at this particular next step? I don't need it. Pencil layers all together. If I can spell pencils. There we go. Alright, save progress. And okay. I'm gonna save a couple of copies of this for my Ko-fi members. Folks who pledge the monthly support on Ko-fi. Find out more about that in the doobly-doo. Done with my self-plug there for a second. Anyway, so we're just going to save this here, and then change that resolution. Boom. Okay, So those pencils are done. Yay. Okay. I'm actually going to pause that there. It's been about an hour and a half, and honestly, that's about the point where I stop streaming. So I think I'm just going to stop streaming for now. So thank y'all for joining and hanging out while I was working on comics and stuff. I'm actually going to bring what I was just working on back up on the screen so that we could see the progress that we made. We started with a blank canvas and we ended up with this rough sketch of the back cover of The Legend of Jamie Roberts Volume 3. The Legend of Jamie Roberts Volume 3 will be on Kickstarter launching tomorrow, October 14th, 2025. Head to tinyurl.com/TLOJRVOL3 or the link in the description down below to check out the campaign, sign up for notifications, and be prepared. The campaign will launch tomorrow at noon. And I do intend on doing a launch live stream at noon here on this channel. So do the YouTube stuff to keep an eye out when I hit the launch button and when I hit the live button. Both will be on at roughly the same time. I'll probably just hit the live button. I'll hit the launch button when I am live, more than likely. So do the YouTube stuff and check out tinyurl.com/TLOJRVOL3. I had to burp, excuse me. That's all I've got for now. There's the mouse. Okay. Thank y'all so much for watching. You are awesome.